I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
my head up.
I'm from South Carolina, so I just...
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Morris?
Oh, my heart,
Happy 20th anniversary.
my heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? John.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself. There's a
The doctor lived next door to the janitor, to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all the more.
letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover. In it to win it for the long haul, baby. All right, got some Black history for you today. Have you ever heard of the Schomburg Museum? It's named after, it's up in New York City. It's named after Arturo Alfonso Afro-Boricqueño Schomburg. Afro-Black, Boricqueño, Latino, Puerto Rican. So Arturo Alfonso, and this is in quotation marks, Afro-Boricqueño Schomburg. Now, he was a self-described Black Puerto Rican. Usually they say Boricua. Born January 24th, 1874. And while his education equipped Schomburg with I guess I skipped a bit. Growing up in Puerto Rico, his mother was a freeborn Black midwife from St. Croix, and his father, a mestizo merchant of German heritage. They lived in Puerto Rico in a community known as Santurce, if I pronounced it correct. And I understand that is where my own maternal grandfather comes from. So we all learning something new this morning. Young Schomburg was educated at An Juan's Instituto Popular, where he learned commercial printing in St. Thomas College in the Danish-ruled Virgin Islands, where he studied Negro literature. Long story short, the man was a beast in terms of Black history. I'll give you one more paragraph, then we're going to get on to the next Black historian. While his education equipped Schomburg with tools essential to his extraordinary bibliophilia, it was in school that he encountered the flame which burned throughout his career. By Schomburg's own account, it was in the 5th grade that a teacher glibly, you know what glib is? It's like excited but not excited. Asserted that, excited but with an attitude, glibly asserted that people of color had no history, no heroes, no notable accomplishments. Now, I've had two professors kind of sort of say something like that, both on a Black campus. That one said that the Greeks founded the principles of math and science. And the second was that the first civilizations were in Europe. Only somebody very ignorant would say something like that. Young Schomburg embarked on a lifelong quest to scientifically refute the mythology of racism in the Americas. He became a fiery debater and documentarian of the accomplishments of Afro-Latinos such as Puerto Rican artist Jose Campeche, Haitian liberator Toussaint Louverture, That's my man down in Haiti. And the Afro-Cuban General Antonio Maceo. So here's a picture of Arturo Schomburg. Okay, won't do that again. Another one. Now I got this out of a book, African Historian Reference Guide, published by the Soul School Institute. And y'all know about the Soul School Institute? There you go. All right. Next up, W.E.B. Du Bois. Born on February 23rd. I know that because that's my daughter's birthday. Du Bois is my favorite black intellectual of all time. But Arturo Schomburg wasn't no slouch, let's be clear. But I did a lot of reading on Du Bois. He's got a book, Souls of Black Folk. Many of us have it at our desk. Two souls, two strivings, two warring ideals in one dark body whose dogged strength alone keeps us from being torn asunder. My God, the man was 95 years old. He has actually taught school here in Baltimore. I think he lived around Morgan Park, if I'm not mistaken. One of the progenitors of the NAACP, founded the Crisis magazine. He wrote several books, traveled the world, good friends with Kwame Nkrumah over in Ghana. Du Bois, what can you say? Got his PhD from Harvard, and he said he assured you that the honor of him graduating from Harvard was Harvard's and not his. If you don't know about W.E.B. Du Bois, D-U, capital B-O-U-B-O-I-S, then make it your business to learn about this giant. Carter G. Woodson, known as the father of Black History Day, week, and month. It started off, I think, just as a day. But he also founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, Carter G. Woodson. He loved Black history, too. The father of Black history. The father of Black history. Born in 1875, 10 years after slavery officially ended in the United States. In New Canton, Virginia, young Woodson's family was large and very poor. He could attend school only sporadically because his family needed him to help out on the family farm. Carter G. Woodson would not let anything deter him from learning. Even when he was not able to attend school, he taught himself. Who else taught themselves? Frederick Douglass, right over there in Fells Point. He would trick the little white boy into showing him numbers and letters, and eventually taught himself. This is what our people had to go through to learn. During slavery, it has been repeated that for an African American to learn how to read was criminal. And you can imagine why. But we were never ignorant, ever. We came here skilled. We were already skilled when during our first interactions. We were already skilled. Whether we were already here, because I told you, not all of us came here in the bottom of a slave ship. There were Black people already here. And that's important to know. There were Black people already here. Of course there were. They got us thinking that all of the Black people came in the bottom of a slave ship. No. I'll tell you something else. They took Black people from North America to Europe. Hard to imagine. It's called cognitive dissonance. Somebody present facts to you and be like, no, that ain't what they told us. That ain't what they told us. Well, did you ever investigate it? You don't know what they told you. You don't know how true it is. Woodson worked as a coal miner, Carter G. Woodson, in Kentucky to pay his college tuition. After graduating from Berea College in Kentucky, he would later attend the University of Chicago, where he earned a bachelor's degree in 1907. It's 116 years ago. We can't even finish high school today. We want to go to school and fight, shoot. He then earned his master's degree at the University of Chicago in 1908. I mean, he got his master's in 1 year. He went on to Harvard, where he obtained his PhD in 1912. What excuse do we have? J.A. Rogers. Now, when I first learned about J.A. Rogers, it was because of these cartoon-like Black History, Black History cards. J.A. Rogers, Joel Augustus Rogers, born September the 6th, 1883 at Negril, Jamaica. Very little is known about his early schooling. The historian is said to have had a good basic education, but lacked higher formal education. Immigrated to the U.S. in 1906 and became a naturalized citizen in 1917. Published his first book, the 87-page From Superman to Man, in 1917. Again, J.A. Rogers, to my understanding, was known for these Black history tidbits that would share Black history on something like baseball cards. But he often had like cartoons and publications, or really just drawings, illustrations. It wasn't photos. You had illustrations, black and white illustrations depicting various parts of Black history. J.A. Rogers' search for truth led him to examine the African bloodlines of Europeans and Americans. His signal work, Nature Knows No Color Line, and a 3-volume set, Sex and Race, destroyed the myth of Aryan race purity. Rogers' other historical focus was on producing biographical portraits, that's what I was telling you about, of prominent African personages, people. In 1931, he published The World's Greatest Men of African Descent, and in 1947, he published The World's Greatest Men of Color, 3000 BC to 1946 AD. And he died on his birthday in 1966. A long list of books, 15 books. First, he had 5 Negro presidents, facts about the Negro from Superman to Man, as noted, the Ku Klux Spirit, brief outline of the history of the Ku Klux Klan, past and present. You know, a lot of people say Ku Klux Klan, but it's Ku, K-U, Ku Klux Klan. The real facts about Ethiopia. Dr. Chancellor J. Williams, he wrote the famous book, The Destruction of Black Civilization, Great Issues of a Race from 4500 to 2000 AD. John Henry Clark, scholar, born in Union Springs, Alabama. Dr. Yusuf Ben Yakinen. Cheikh Anta Diop, learned about him down in Morehouse. He was French, spoke French, fluent, and he was a physicist. And he literally checked out DNA all the way back to the continent. Cheikh Anta Diop. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, They Came Before Columbus, that was his book. Lerone Bennett Jr., you know him. Lerone was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. In 1965, he won the Poor Richard Award of the Society of Middle and Office for his biography of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So let me just tell you, our guest today was to be Jacqui Cummings. Jacqui lost her sister, and we kind of knew that today would be a tough one for her. She says she's up and down, goes up and down. Some days are good, some days are bad. She also lost a brother. This has all been in a couple of years. I can relate. I lost a sister and a brother rather suddenly, at least with my brother. And so our prayers go out to her and the family. I think I got a couple more historians, or maybe one, a couple more. One is Dr. Walter Rodney. And if you don't know about any of these people, please check them out. I'm sure one of them at least will fascinate you. He wrote the book, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. And then back when I was first in grad school, I was reading this book by Manning Marble. I actually met Manning Marble down at the University of Maryland back in the 90s. Manning Marble wrote how capitalism underdeveloped Africa. How capitalism underdeveloped Black America. But before that, Walter Rodney wrote how Europe underdeveloped Africa. So Manning Marble took that same theme and applied it more to North America and our experiences as Blacks in North America. Tony Martin is today's leading researcher on the life and legacy of the Honorable Marcus Garvey. Do you know who Marcus Garvey was? We should. He just had a birthday in August. Marcus Garvey did things that no one would imagine, including building a shipping line. He had the largest organization of Black people in the world. That's the Universal Negro Improvement Association. And last but not least, Runoko Rashidi, prolific writer, essayist. So these names we all should be familiar with these names. Runoko Rashidi, Tony Martin, Dr. Walter Rodney, Lerone Bennett Jr., Ivan Van Sertima, Cheikh Anta Diop, Dr. Yusuf Ben Yakinen, John Henry Clark. And you know John Henry Clark because he got that middle name spelled differently. Henrik, Henrik, Henrik. But everybody typically says John Henry Clark. Dr. Chancellor Williams, J.A. Rogers, W.E.B. Du Bois, Carter G. Woodson, and one we started off with, Arturo Alfonso Afro-Boricqueño Schomburg. They got a museum up in New York City called the Schomburg Library, loaded with Black history, Black information. How many books do we have in the house? Do we have a lot of books? Are we sharing Black history? Are we teaching it to our children? Are you teaching Black history at home? Is it important to you? It should be all of our business to learn our history, to learn where we come from. How will our children learn if we don't learn? And while I'm plugging everybody else's book, let me plug my own. I Am Black Wall Street. Fascinating book. Although Facebook once tried to paint a picture of me as a racist. Yes, they did. Took my page. I'm not a racist. Never have been. Wasn't raised that way. Parents were much smarter than that. Anyway, there are two heroes in my book, I Am Black Wall Street. One being Chief John Horse, who came out of Florida. He was a Black Seminole, fought in the Second Seminole War, something we didn't learn in school. Second Seminole War was more like the largest slave insurrection, armed slave insurrection in the United States. The other hero is John Brown, who I write was the greatest white man who ever lived. He died fighting to end slavery, fighting against racists. And in that book, I talk about how the first peoples got to Oklahoma, how the first Black people. One thing I remember before writing the book, they said that the blacks on the Trail of Tears were slaves. That only comes from someone ignorant who's listening with something that somebody else told them. We didn't. We were soldiers. Look up Chief John Horse. In my book, I Am Black Wall Street. Be the best 21 bucks you ever spent. Guarantee you will learn something. Everyone who's picked it up has told me that. Whether it's about Black Caesar. Did you know there were Black pirates? Did he just say Black pirates? Why, I sure did. Yes, there were Black pirates. Of course there were. Silly rabbit. Black Caesar had $6-7 million worth of silver. Lived in a cove down around Biscayne Bay. That's by Miami. They eventually hung him in Virginia. That's what they did to pirates. Kind of like horse thieves. It's always interesting to people who steal. You know, the people who write history determines who was stealing. Because clearly Europe was stealing. But so were Africans who sold us into slavery. So too were they stealing. They were stealing from their own people, selling their own people off into slavery. And that's what happened back then. Wars would happen. Ain't no different than a black man standing on the corner selling dope to his own people. Friday, I looked out my window and I saw this lady clearly had too much heroin early in the morning on a Friday. Had that fentanyl in it. If you've ever seen somebody high on the fentanyl, it is unmistakable. The typical heroin doesn't get people like that fentanyl. That fentanyl will actually lay you out. And she had obviously way too much of it, couldn't stand. She wobbled, but she never fell over. I will give her that. But you could tell it was just an extra layer of I guess, narcotic within whatever heroin she had. It's quite unfortunate. Addiction is all around us. And even for those who don't participate in it, this affects the community. When children are walking by and they see an addict shooting dope, black addict or white addict, and increasingly in the black neighborhood, we're seeing white addicts. Increasingly in the black neighborhood, we're seeing white homeless people. Increasingly in the black neighborhood, we're seeing white panhandlers living down in the train tracks, living in vacant houses. Sandtown looks more like Pigtown. But addiction affects all. It does not discriminate. Black, white, purple, or green. Addiction is addiction. And that's why we got to get to our young people. It's back to school time. Went up to New Song Academy on Friday for their first day back to school. I'm glad I went. I just learned about it. Jason Green up in New Song invited the community at the community meeting on Wednesday to come up to the school. I was so glad to be there. It's nothing like that energy. Glad to be a part of it. You see it on social media, black men showing up at school, but you know, men, women. Shantae Jackson was there, formerly of Monzi, Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services and Engagement. You hear a lot about that in the news. I don't know all of the particulars, but I know she showed up for that first day of school for New Song, and the family appreciated it. So I was glad to be there at New Song. Others go back tomorrow. We have to take education seriously. Education is the passport. Malcolm told us that. Education is the passport to the future, and those who fail to embrace it will be left behind. There's no two ways about it. I was in the dollar store yesterday. Something came to me, how we have to break generational curses. I think in most instances, our parents did the best they knew how. I think as time has gone on, many of us have become tired, frankly. Life can be tough. But nothing beats education. I've shared with you people who grew up in poorer situations than most of us, who went on to become world famous historians, well known. And again, thank you to the Soul School Institute for putting together this African Historian Reference Guide, 4th edition, to educate us to our history. When we don't know our history, anybody can tell us anything. But then when you go digging into your history and you find out that the deeper that you dig, the more information you follow about your own people, how can you not feel empowered? How can you not feel golden? I mean, the more I learned, Hawaii. Did you know King Kamehameha? King Kamehameha. King Kamehameha. The first king of Hawaii was a black man with a bush. Don't take my word for it. Go look it up. Don't take my word on none of this. You go look it up. King Kamehameha. I saw pictures of blacks in Fiji. Big old afros. Look like the Jackson 5. Blacks are all over the world. Australia. In America, we're taught our story. Of course, we're taught our story that we were slaves, but we weren't slaves. We were enslaved. We never been no damn slave. We were enslaved. Enslaved Africans. Enslaved Americans. Because again, some of us were already here. I know that's hard for some of us to wrap our brain around. It's kind of hard for me to wrap, but then I figured it out. Of course, we were already here. We were world travelers. Black history didn't start in 1500s when the transatlantic slave kicked off. The Moors were dominating Europe for 800 years. So that means for 800 years, the Moors had the ships. And they were traveling across the Atlantic to South America, to North America, trading. There are gold artifacts, Egyptian artifacts found in the Grand Canyon, thousands of years old. Go look it up. Kincaid's Cave. Go look it up. Unless some idiot who don't even know their own history tell you about your history, then you become the idiot. You let somebody else tell you your family tree and they know it better than you, it's your fault. You ain't gonna tell me my family tree at all. I don't care what ancestry you got. Where you at, Terrence? Oh, you ready? Terrence is my backup plan. Bear with me a second. We need to talk a little business. We can never talk about business too much. There we go. Okay. That's my backup plan. You the backup plan. You got a lot of headroom, man.
What's going on, King? Great morning to you.
Look, I'm gonna need you to set that camera down and don't move it because you're making me dizzy, high, intoxicated. I need you just fix it. Don't move.
All right, you're just talking about people getting high too, so I don't want to be contradicting what you was just talking about. All right. Do need a little favor. Send it to me again, man. I'm doing it off my phone. And we know that always runs out.
No, you're doing fine. But I did send it to your email. Where you want me to send it to you? Can you just put the phone down and chibi, like I was on a roller coaster ride at Six Flags or something.
I got you, baby. I got you. It's almost like the circus in town.
You know, I just read something that said if you keep dealing with clowns, it's your fault. So stop going to the circus.
Hey, ain't that right, brother? Sometime when they just
my
in
God,
your neighborhood.
I feel woo.
Look at you. Good now?
Yeah, I'm good now. Don't touch it. Let me see your hands. Hands up.
Hey.
All right.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, man. Our prayers go out to Jacqui and her family.
We definitely do, man. You kind of messed me up with that one this morning. Got myself together. I said I'm going to have to find out where she's at and go put my eyes on her, like they say in the country.
Hey, look, stop touching stuff.
My screen look narrow.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. What's going on with you today, Doni?
I said don't touch that thing, man.
I'm helping you out, baby.
Right.
There you go.
Right. How's business, man? Where are we with Terra Cafe?
You said, huh? How's business?
God.
There you go. That's better. That's what I needed right there, Doni. Better to work
all right. Don't touch it no more.
We not.
Oh my God.
It fell down, baby. It fell down. That's why they know this is live. This ain't recorded. This live.
Hey man, kill that music. Put that on. Okay. Oh my God.
I got you. Look at it. I'm getting it together, baby. That's what you do.
Do you do this on CNN? When CNN call you, do you do that? At least you got your dashiki on. Why you got your dashiki on? Well, tell me where you get the dashiki from.
Man, a little bit of all over, man. I think they find me. I don't find
them.
Hair
always kill me, man. You people with hair, y'all always doing this.
Rise. Yeah. You know, they find me. I don't find them. It's an energy. You know, a lot of people do stuff for fashion and fad, but when you do stuff for purpose, it's a little different. It's kind of hard to explain sometimes because people look at you crazy, you know? So that's what's good.
Just people without hair, we like, you know, kind of job jealous on the QT.
Why? This ain't hair. This is my energy. These are my antennas to job.
So is this to say I don't have any energy?
Nah, you got a different one, baby. Everybody got their glow. Don't worry about it, Donnie. Everybody got their glow, man. Good morning to you. Happy Monday to you. Really excited about it. We get to start the week again. You know, hey, every day power to the people. Now, come on.
All right. We got a Black History quiz since you're so late. Have you ever heard of Arturo Schomburg?
And you know, I possibly have, but I don't.
Have you ever heard of the Schomburg Museum?
Museum, yeah, of course I did. And I was going to reference it as the Schomburg Museum.
Okay, in New York City. You ever heard of W.E.B. Du Bois?
Yes.
Carter G. Woodson.
Yes.
Now, who is he? Because now you're just yesing. He's
Man,
the
come on,
father of
stop.
Black History Day, week, and month. Remember in school we celebrated Black History Week?
Yeah.
And then
I
Black
always
History
thought
Month?
that was kind of odd, though. You know what I mean? Everything else just a week.
Okay, at first there was nothing.
Yeah. But I
At
look
first
at that.
there was
I look at
nothing.
we need to celebrate. I celebrate it every day.
You're
so.
not understanding what happened. There was nothing. Then they came out with something. He did. And then it went to a month.
Yes,
And
sir.
then black people said, well, they gave us the shortest month. Well, he chose February because that's the month that Frederick Douglass was born.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
All right. You ain't finished. You ever heard of J.A. Rogers? Okay, he did the illustrations. What about Chancellor Williams? Because I've seen some of these books over in your library. Dr.
I
Chancellor
got some
Williams.
here. All right.
Chancellor Williams wrote The Destruction of Black Civilization. What about John Henry Clark?
Yep.
Cheek Antediep. And it's okay. Listen.
A lot of these people, I've heard of them, but in reference to them being part of our
All
everyday
right,
culture.
let me give you a no-brainer. Let me give you a no-brainer.
Come on, give me one. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Put me in, coach. Put me in.
Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Of course. Of course.
Tell me about him.
You know, he believed that we actually, what we need to do today is to really create our own ecosystem and come together in unity. I think that's the shortest version to speak on in reference to him. It's about us. It's not about what people do to us. It's that we got to get out together. I'm in the ballpark.
He came to America, first of all, from Jamaica.
He from the yard.
From the yard, short, chocolate.
Black
wasn't
man.
light skin. He was black Stevie Black.
Black
He was,
man.
He was all the way black. Blackity black.
Yeah. He wasn't going to pass no brown paper bag test, bro.
Wasn't passing the paper bag test. He wasn't getting into Howard.
No.
You know, back in the day, Howard University had a paper bag test. Y'all don't know about the paper bag test. These little kids today don't know the history. If you were too dark, you wouldn't be admitted.
Why is that?
So we not only had racism, we also had and still have interracial racism.
Yes, sir. Why was that, Donnie? Hey, Donnie, I got a question for you.
Hurt people until they are healed.
Who was the first dean?
Of?
What did you just say?
Of Howard University?
Yes, sir.
Don't get me to guessing. Who was it?
I'm asking. Because I had an awesome conversation before with Baba Robert DeShield, the great Robert DeShield. We had a conversation. I just want to, do your thing. Look it up real quick for me. The first dean of Howard. Was it a black man?
Well, that's debatable. A lot of these black colleges had white founders and white people in prominent positions. Same with Morehouse. That was probably the most disappointing thing I learned when I got to Morehouse and Spelman, that the people who founded it were white people. It was disappointing because you're going down there with this notion, black, 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 but then you again find out how things actually happened. And not that it
watered down.
No, it wasn't watered down. We were just hyped. Again, when you've been starved for so long of your people's history, and then you finally start finding it out, you wanted to be all black history, but it's not.
Yeah.
And there were white people who helped us along the way.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. But you know what? One of the things that this is that, guess what? I'm a firm believer, like a lot of things that's going on in the city and in our country right now, that you can have people that are awesome and very smart, okay? But if they're not black, they really do miss the ledge a little bit. And then also, guess what, Donnie? Here go the other one to get crazy. You got some black that really missed the mark on being black also. You feel me? That because of their root, like we opened a root store up this week. Their root.
You did? Congratulations. Last week or this week?
No, tomorrow. We have a few more spots. We have information for
Tomorrow.
people. Yeah, we'll be opening up at 11 o'clock at 2441 St. Paul's store, 2441 St. Paul Street. And the awesome part about it, it's been a conversation for a minute. It's been a tool for a minute, but now it's just going to become a real foundation for our community at this point in time. You know, over the last few weeks, it's just, you know, when you get to that point, just like anything, and you say enough is enough, enough is enough. So we're forcing our way open at this point because we want to definitely do something of what Marcus Garvey did and some of the other great leaders did is just create an environment where we can unify together. You know what I mean? You know, we keep going to the table and asking for something, but it's by the time we get there, we ask for 5 different things.
Doug, check your email. Come on in on the show. I sent you the link.
Okay,
so tell me about this root store. You're going to be not you, Terrence. That was Doug.
Oh, well, resend it to me again, Donnie. That way I can put it on my computer, not my phone, baby. Terra.cafe@gmail.com.
So what's going to be at the root store?
Well, right now what the root store is, it's a cooperative. It is a think tank for micro business, Black business at this point in time, and something that is really from us, for us, okay? And it's straight. It's straight cut. It's no filler.
What kind of roots you going to have in there, man?
Excuse me?
What kind of roots?
The root store is that you keep going in and out. All right. The root store is a cooperative of 7 different businesses at this time, and they're all under one roof, under one location, and sharing energy. You know, it's something different that when you actually put things together, like in chemistry. Remember chemistry, Donnie?
This man got a lot of excuses. Yes, I remember chemistry and the table. What's it called?
Okay.
Periodic table.
Yes, sir. But you know, when you mix things together, how sometimes
hold on, we got Derek Burnett on the line. Derek Burnett, how you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother. What about yourself?
Good, good. You know, we go straight to it. We don't want to hear what you want to comment on.
Oh, it's a new book out called Liberty Road, Neoliberalism, about the migrations of our community from the city to the suburbs and how Liberty Road became a precedent for Black suburban communities throughout the country. Book that needs to be read by all who live in Liberty Road. The author is supposed to be at Randallstown Library October the 6th for community discussion.
Who's the author?
Wow, man. his last name is
I don't give you cats no passes. You cats go around bragging about what school you went to. Better come on here to have some scholarly discussions.
Well, I got you, my brother. Give me a second. His name is Gregory Smith Simon.
Is he black?
Unfortunately not.
So why you ain't touting my book? You out there touting this book. My book is I Am Black Wall Street. What's up with that? And I know when did you?
I've already read your book. I know the content. You did a great job. This is something new that should be absorbed.
Tell me one thing you learned in my book. Stop skipping around. Tell me one thing you learned from I Am Black Wall Street.
Oh, I learned about all the different Wall Streets throughout the country that occurred.
That's a safe answer. All right, Derek Burnett, you know, I noticed your comment came just around the time Terrence was talking about the paper bag test. You remember the paper bag test?
Yeah, my mother used to tell me about that growing up.
What'd your mother tell you about the paper bag test?
That if you was darker than a paper bag, you wasn't accepted by a lot of people in our own community.
So we not only have racism from the outside, we have racism. Terrence, what you just do to mess up your camera? Hey, Terrence, don't touch nothing for the next 20 minutes.
Man, I'm asking you to send me another link, brother.
I sent you the link, man.
It didn't go to my email, King.
Bro, I know how to send the email. Derek, please proceed. So how did that make you feel when you learned, when your mama told you about that?
It's kind of confusing, man.
My mother told me something, Derek. I don't share too often, but she shared something with me. She was very fair-skinned. She said, in the white man's eyes, black is back, white is right, and tan is grand. I was about 7 years old. And she been gone since 1985. And if I could wake up out that grave and ask her a question, I'd ask her that. What did you mean? But it's pretty self-explanatory. That there are rules already that some people have, and they govern a lot of people. So you at least need to know where people thinking, where their thinking is. What do you think, Terrence?
You know, that's just what I was just saying, that we keep having our story written by other people, and it hits different. You know,
yeah. So no
it really does.
That.
You know,
I'm a
because
little
at the end of the day, they normally go into a different community, they go to a different environment, and they're definitely on a different economic level. You feel me? So really telling our story becomes just a micro dot of the real story a lot of times.
So, Doug, how do you feel this white person coming to your community that's been black for the past 50 years?
60 years.
You got a white guy telling your story? All of those
We always honest, right?
people out Liberty Road.
It can't be really accurate. It can't be really accurate.
I'm saying you know the story. He don't know the story better than you, Doug.
That's right. I lived the story, but he actually documented.
I don't give a damn what he documented, because you telling me that y'all ain't smart enough to write your own damn book.
Oh, there you go.
No, I ain't
Donnie, don't start telling the truth too much now.
He was the first one that did it. And he actually.
What are y'all doing out what black people doing out Liberty Road? Y'all comfortable with your deer, bunny, rabbits, and foxes?
Hey, you know,
nah, it's not comfort, Donnie. Because in reality, we just a neighborhood. We're not a real community because there's no economic development out Liberty Road. It's like they put us in a pot.
No, y'all put yourselves out Liberty Road. Y'all moved out there.
But we was directed out here.
No, you weren't.
Yes, you were.
No, you weren't.
Realtors was only allowing people to live in certain communities during that time.
Hey, listen, now you're making excuses.
Do you know for the last couple of years there was still a community covenant on a community called Rogers Forge in Baltimore County where they wasn't allowing black people to move there?
Same thing like Roland Park here in Baltimore. You got to fight against it. First, you got to be aware of it.
You got to be aware.
So you go to Howard, you go to Hampton, you go to Morehouse, you go to all of these intelligent schools only to come back dumber than when you went away.
Wow.
And I'm not saying you, Doug. We send our kids, we go broke sending these kids to these schools. And that's what Carter G. Woodson, I'll never forget his story. He said, we send our kids to school. We're the only people to send our kids to school so they can go to work for the white man.
Work for somebody else, exactly.
We should be sending them to school so they can come back home to make our business better. Right, Terrence?
100% facts, babe. 100. Am I in the back of your stage, Donnie? Because I copied another link you had to get on this show. You're 100% factual. You know, we have to get to the point that we actually have our own schools. And that's one other thing that we're doing out of the Root Store, Donnie, is that we're going to have family camp. Okay? And family camp is going to be just basically what it is. It's going to be a camp for your whole family, not just your kids. So a couple of days of the week, guess what? You can come to the Root Store. We'll have interactive things that we'll be doing, discussions, and it'll be based off of community, health, and wealth. All right? Which is really the underlying word for the Root Store. All right? Is getting our community healthy again, getting our community together again, and getting the wealth in our community.
Tell me more about these roots, man. My uncle used to be involved with roots.
Yes.
I remember the Serpent and the Rainbow movie. Serpent and the Rainbow.
I don't remember that.
Deep movie about Haiti.
About who?
Haiti.
About Haiti. Ah. So your uncle's involved in roots.
I did not say
healing
that.
manner?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We lived off the land. You ever see, they show sometimes in them old movies, people, including what we call Indians, who could go through the forest and they would pick this certain plant, mix it together and rub it on an injury, and the person would be healed.
Yes.
Now,
Remember,
over in Europe, they called them witches. But they weren't witches. They were people that knew what herbs, what roots came out the ground, and what could heal you. That's it. And do you know the same things that they put in drugs are these same plants?
well, you want to know what it's not.
We're so goofy. We don't know nothing.
These drugs are derived, well, and that's one of the class. We have Sandy Woods, and she's a healer and a gardener, and she's going to be leading one of the modules in reference to, we're going to talk about just that, just how plants fit into just everything. If you think about it, in reality, everything that we have, a plant is involved in some way, shape, or form. The clothes that you have, cotton, the medicine, all the medicine out here has been derived.
Every medicine out here comes out the ground.
Hey, Donnie, you ever look at when you take a medicine and they give you that disclaimer that it'll do this to you, your heart attack, your foot will hurt, your neck will hurt, but it's gonna make you better. Kind of like that shot that they was giving all them people, right? All right, it ain't gonna save you from COVID. You ain't gonna guarantee you're not gonna die. All right, but guess what? Take it anyway. But the great thing about plants is plants don't have a disclaimer. You know, God created to be pure. So when you go and alter something, that's what you get. You know what I mean? You get those disclaimers. Just like when we go and alter our community, huh?
Did you take the shot?
Done. Don't even do that. Hell no.
So you didn't go to fly to see your parents during COVID?
You know what? That was the most hurting thing. I couldn't see my parents.
Damn right. And that's why I took the shot, because I wanted to travel, and I didn't want nobody to tell me I couldn't travel.
Well,
and a lot of people who travel for a living had to take the shot because that's how they make their living.
Well, you know what? Some of our family members really got to a point where, and you have to respect people's belief in what they do, okay? That they didn't even want you to be around if you did. Okay.
Well, let me tell you this. When I saw them white people out Randallstown getting the shot in our neighborhood, I said, it's time for me to go get the shot.
You got the shot, Donnie?
Damn Skippy, 2 of them.
Donnie.
You heard me?
You're an educated black man.
Education is relative. I wanted to travel.
Was it the peer pressure, Donnie? Was it psychosis that, guess what, somebody was going to have something that you didn't?
I told you, ultimately, I saw all of those white people lined up in Randallstown.
Whoa, Donnie, I'm about to take over your show now. The road reporter, T Sizzle. Donnie, so you mean that you did an action because you saw white people do an action?
In our neighborhood, they were getting the shot. You damn right.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the crazy thing, man. One of the things through all of this, when you actually...
And I done had every kind of argument regarding, you do what's best for you.
And that, you know what, that's where I'm at. You heard what I just said earlier? That some people in here believe you have to respect them. The one thing is this, Donnie, guess what?
I check with scientists that I know.
You want to know what? Here's where
the scientists say, get the damn shot.
Can I get one word in, sir?
Maybe.
See, I'm on this new thing called human, this new race called human. And I'm actually, and you know where I picked that up, Donnie, from? When I was in New York. Because in New York, you have a bunch of people, plethora of people working together for one main objective.
A plethora of people. I hear you, son.
Green. They work together for economic enrichment, cash, dough, money. All right. And I remember I had a manager in the car business on 11th Avenue. All right. Martin Motors. Big family franchise, all right? And my manager was Jerry Papp. He was very racist. He was an Elvis impersonator. He had Michael Jackson disease, white guy, and he wore a toupee. But if I have to say anything in reference to the beginning of my business knowledge and sales knowledge and dealing with people, it came from him. You would never eat at his house. He wouldn't give you a ride in his car, okay? You wasn't invited to the barbecue, but when it came to business, guess what he did, Donnie? He handled business, brother. He handled business. And I mean, that's where we're at right now, is that with everything going on in this world, we got to really handle business, because this second wave of what they're planning with this COVID shot mess is horrible. You know, only rich people got rich during this. We didn't find any economic growth at all. Even here in Baltimore City, there was a ton of money that was sent to us as the black community. Ain't nobody talking about it. Everybody talking about all this little small line conversation, and nobody's really getting to the meat of the subject. You know, when you think
What's
about
the meat
Harbor
of
Bank,
the subject?
the meat of the subject is that you got money out here, and right now in our black communities, I haven't seen no development at all. I haven't seen none. You walk over in Pennsylvania, you know I got a house over there, right? Got investment property over there. And so I have that energy that I want to see that number in that community great. And I see it great. That's why I invested there. But I haven't seen not one damn coin, babe. And you want to know the money is here. So all of what they tell you is a lie. You know, Harbor Bank got 600 million. You know that, right? You know, Mr. Haskin got that, Donnie? He got that for black business and black people during COVID. You remember, Donnie?
Let's talk about that. You saying the Harbor Bank does not invest in black people?
Well, when we want to get to the root of it, really finding out that they haven't. No. They haven't set up any ecosystems that are the betterment of our community. Donnie, I'll tell you what, I
still got to give Joe Haskins credit. You can't just, let me tell you, Joe Haskins helped pay for, I think, my first 4 years on the radio. So I can't let
that
you.
was you, Donnie. I'm talking about the community, bro.
Okay.
I'm talking about the community. Hey, Donnie, what's a couple of grand? What's a couple of grand versus?
Let me tell you.
Can we talk and not debate? That means that each one of us take a patient time and allow the other one to finish the statement.
Well, you talked about a giant in the community who helped a number of people.
You know what? Guess what, Donnie? But is it because could it have been bigger? All right. Think about it. Harbor Bank hasn't done. Well, you know what? What I want to do is this. There's so many opportunities that Harbor Bank has not taken. They have not embraced the small business community at all. All right. They have not
at all.
Yo, brother, let me tell you, Donnie. Okay. See, you might have one or two. Okay. You might have one or two. I'm talking about in totality. All right. There is so much of opportunity for investment and belief in Baltimore. And
people have said that about your boy Stanley. People have said that about your boy Stanley.
Who?
Now you say the Harbor Bank has not helped black people, and I said they've helped some, but you've also said in previous interviews
Donnie, please understand.
Hold up. You also said in previous interviews that Stanley has not helped black people to that level, and I've found a lot more people that tend to agree with you. In terms of Harbor Bank, I ask, what have people done to support Harbor Bank? I remember one year we marched a bunch of people down to Harbor Bank to get bank accounts.
And we got
I gotta support Harbor Bank. And then as I've gotten older, you gotta understand the game. How far do you expect this black bank to get compared to M&T?
All the way in. Because if you say you black, ride your ride. Ride your ride. If not, just say you're a bank.
And then all I can say to you is you should start a bank. I say you should start a bank.
Yo, you think I haven't thought about it? I've been working on a CDFI and a bank. We only need, what do we need, Donnie? 500,000, 600,000 to start a bank?
Then do it. But I can't knock some people who did, and maybe they didn't go as far as some people think they should have. I can't do that. I gotta have mad love and respect for the Harbor Bank, for Mr. Joe Haskins, for the efforts that they've made over the years. And if you can do better, then you should do it. If you can help make it better, then you should do it. I can't forget people who helped me along the way. That's just not going to happen. Now, other people, it's easy to tear us down. First of all, we outnumbered. I think a lot of times we as a community, we forget the numbers. We are 13% of the population. The deck has been stacked against us. We outnumbered. Some people say, oh, even though we outnumbered, what's really more important is we're out-organized. We're out-organized too. But we're 13% of the population. Let me put it to you like this. I need you to set that camera still because you make it just.
There you go. No, you went out for a minute. I was sending you to let me in.
No, you went out. My computer's working.
I just said I went out for a minute.
Okay. You said you agreed that we're out-organized, but we're 13% of the population. How well organized do you think we can get with all of this stuff against us?
Well, Donnie, let's back up a little bit if you don't mind. I don't want to rush past a few things that we actually just talked about. I want to make sure that we have clarity on
Well,
it.
you take your time. I'm
And,
gonna refill my coffee.
all right, please do. How you gonna leave? How we gonna have conversation? How is he gonna leave when we have conversation? Well, listen, family. Let me share this with you. At
Because you can handle it.
I got this. Go ahead. I'm already on my show now. Welcome to the TD Sizzle Show, live and direct from the heart of Baltimore City. No, for real. What we're looking at is this at the root store. It's going to be basically also the headquarters for CSAC. And what is CSAC? CSAC is a social enterprise of where we're going to have just what Donnie was talking about, that miscommunication. We're going to get it together. Okay. And we're going to put pressure where pressure needs to be put in our community, because at this point in time in Baltimore City, it really is a code red. Okay. Regardless of how many galas we have, regardless of how many network we have, within this city, Black community and the Black ecosystem has not grown at all. And you see in other communities in the city that it is growing by leaps and bounds. And the craziest part about it, so much of the funding that has come to Baltimore City has come on our backs. It has come in an envelope that is addressed to us, and either the envelope is not being opened or the envelope is being redirected to other areas. You know, and there's two big pools of money right now in Baltimore City that we need to address, because it's only going to be with us for a short time. Okay.
Here comes your boy hating ass Michael Haney. You know, he's a stalker. He always want to watch somebody else's show. Let me tell you something. Michael Haney, you better watch this character. He's a real sneaky one right there.
All right. But like I was saying, Donnie, you have that money that comes in from Harbor Bank that we really would like to get some real answers on for them putting on the street. All right. You also got the $674 million that the city has, that if they don't spend by September of 24, it goes back to the feds. That's a lot of bread, bro. You know, right now, what I've just mentioned to you, Donnie, is how much? $1.2 billion.
Sound like a
correct,
bill.
Donnie?
Sound like a bill.
All right. Now, here's the crazy part. If you leverage that with creating an ecosystem for homeownership and businesses to own the bricks, guess what you do at that point, Donnie? You level up public safety throughout our city. And it won't be money that's just focused in the downtown Harbor area, all right, or in federal.
Look how that's worked out. That's clearly failed. All of that investment in the harbor, and it's kaput.
You know what, Donnie, was so crazy? I went to the casino a month ago, all right? Donnie, were you at the table when I first opened up this restaurant? When I first opened up Terra Cafe 15 years ago, I was greeted by so many people that was supportive and happy for us. And guess what they wanted to do? They wanted to have a meeting at the cafe. I was blown away. I put all my little tables together, all my little chairs together, and you had the who's who of Baltimore within direction and power at this table at this time. And they had discussion about Little Africa. Do you remember that discussion, Donnie? Little Africa was an area that was going to be created, an own ecosystem that was going to create it where the harbor, where the casino is, that was going to have Black restaurants, Black theater, Black business, the ability to live, and really an ecosystem that was tied to the main ecosystem of Baltimore City, which is the harbor area. Okay, so it would have been an opportunity for us to really develop.
Who was talking about this?
Sheila Dixon. She was the mayor at that time. Matter of fact, I think there was $500 and something thousand that was put up in reference to doing the traffic flow search, studies and everything. And shortly after that, there was problems.
Let me say this. In that 15 years, you and people like Jacqui have made 25th Street out Little Africa.
Facts. I remember my first article that was written up on me when I brought over here.
I want you to chew on that for a minute.
No, I already know, Donnie. Why do you think that I've had such problems?
We talking about the casino. Where we already are is Little Africa.
Already where we are, but then also we have to be strategic in reference to what we're doing. There's a lot involved in it. You know, Baltimore's tried to develop their own ecosystem quite a few times, but if you do not have full support of the city in totality, it goes nowhere. Do you remember
Because
back
a
at
lot
one
of
point in
times
time?
you got thieving ass politicians involved.
Let me finish with you. You're 100% right. And you got scared politicians involved. You got hungry politicians involved, meaning that they don't have any other way to support themselves except for sitting in them seats. They do not have the strength to go out in the street and do the things that need to be done in our community, and they continue the same way. We had this happen at our meeting last week.
We know why they went after Sheila, because Sheila put the fear in a lot of them white boys that y'all gonna give up that money.
Yeah.
We know why they went after her.
Well, we understood that.
She was unapologetically black. But you got other black politicians who still want to be relevant, who still want to be on TV, still want people praising them. They ain't did nothing then, they ain't done nothing now. And really, they are the scourge of our community.
Well, Donnie, you know what? That's why we have CSAC right now. Okay? We're going to be pushing this campaign for CSAC, which is our social enterprise.
What is CSAC?
CSAC is our social enterprise. It's a place where we can come together as community. Whether or not you're a business owner, you're a homeowner, you go to church, whether or not you rent, whatever it is, but that you have the ability to bring in your voice in an unfiltered situation. See, there's certain things that are howled down in our community that we forgot about using. There's certain places where you can go and you can say black, 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 and it's okay. And not only okay on the outside, but what happens, Donnie, is that on the inside, you know, I think we've all had this at some point in time, especially as a black man, that an energy or an environment changes the narrative of your total being. You're driving along. All of a sudden, those lights bust off in the back of your car and start to flashing. What do you do as a black man? All right.
Say, oh,
a lot of us get it, huh?
Oh shit. That's the first thing come to your mind.
Exactly, Donnie. What happens? A lot of us have a process that we put in place. Some of us go, oh shit, let me check and make sure I'm good. Some of us say, okay, I know the thing. Like I taught my sons, hands on the steering wheel, put your phone on, call somebody, put it in the front of the dash so you can hear. And you tell that person, I am on 101 East 25th Street in front of building number 102. I just got stopped by the police. I do not know why. Hold on. Hold on.
Cut the camera on.
Okay? You can't always hold your camera. It's very aggressive to them. And you're trying to get out of that situation.
Set that camera on and set it right in the dashboard. Set it right there. Cut it
Yes,
on.
sir.
Record
Yes,
yourself.
Sir. Just record it. Get somebody.
Hey, let me tell you something. I don't want to hear what black people can't do with a damn phone. I see black people all. And let me tell you something else. The nastiest picture a woman can take, I said it, is of a damn toilet. It's a public service announcement. Stop taking pictures in the bathroom.
All right. So like I'm saying is this. With CSAC, it actually puts us in a position where we don't have to have those fears of the lights coming on. We can have awesome conversation about real community, and we can get to the bottom of this. Right now, Baltimore City is on code red. Please understand, Baltimore City is on code red. All right? There's nothing else for us to do except for save our city. It has already been written in the script that right now they really do not care. All right? They do not care.
We care though, Terrence. See, we know what they're gonna do. We know what they're going to do.
And that's why CSAC is empowering people to do what they need to do. A lot of people have the energy to do something, but they do not have the unified area or the unified
Let me tell you something about our power as a people. I get a press release out the clear blue from Mano Schwartz. Mano Schwartz makes furs. Or they weave together furs. Anyway, this press release comes from a black person about the young lady who's going to be their new creative director. I understand that they're going to have an event over at New Psalmist Baptist Church. Now, Mano Schwartz is not black owned, and a lot of black people don't even understand the fur game. Mano Schwartz essentially wants entree into the black community, wants us to buy them furs. Black people, before you go buying a fur, make sure you learn the fur game. Make sure you even know what a real damn fur is.
They'll sell you a
You've been in New York, you know a lot of people walking around with some stuff they think is chinchilla and it's rat.
And it's rat. It ain't no,
muskrat.
Good, bro.
You don't know what you got. So if you don't know, then take somebody with you who does know. But everybody knows our value as a community. We got $1.5 trillion. So I get this press release vicariously from Mano Schwartz. And I know Richard. I've dealt with Richard before. We've done business. Actually, we did a Black Wall Street up there. But we got to know the value of our community. We got to know how much people want access to us. Because if we realized our value long before these other people recognize our value, then we can build all of these things that you're talking about.
Exactly. So this CSAC will do that. It's going to actually really educate us in reference to the value of us, but also it's going to make available resources that are out there. The one big thing that I really would like for us to push for is that, guess what? We have to get this home ownership in Baltimore down. We have to own the bricks. We can't continue to be part of a city and we're just sharecropping. You feel me?
A lot of us are afraid to own. We don't realize that what we've been paying for rent. I know a man around the corner. He's been paying rent for 30 years. He bought this house over and over and over, but nobody told him that all he had to do is put a little down payment, get a little damn loan, and that house would have been yours.
Well, you want to know what, Donnie? That's what we're going to be doing. For example, some of the camps that we're going to have, like I said, in family camp, we're going to.
And these are things that these people should have known 30, 40, 50 years ago. None of this is new.
They should have known, but the system didn't teach them.
No, so stop blaming the system. They didn't learn their damn self.
Yo, listen, man.
Listen, we go on TV, we go in here and buy $200 belts. Ain't nobody tell you buy a $200 belt.
Yes, they did.
You bought it because the dumbass wanted to buy it.
Yes, they did. You see, that's where me and you part the seas at. Okay? A lot of people keep blaming us, but they don't blame the system.
You're damn right. Ain't nobody tell you go buy a $200 belt.
Hey, Tony, what can I do if I don't know? Period.
Then learn.
Everybody's
damn book.
As you. Everybody didn't have the actual opportunity that you had. Okay, and it's systematic. Everybody don't get out. Only a few get out. They let a few get out. They let you get out. Okay.
They let me get out.
Yeah.
You give them way too much power. My God has got so much more power. You give them way too much power, turds.
No, I'm not giving them way too much power.
You give them way. I did not give them that much power at all.
Listen, Donnie, if the system is teaching our youth, okay, and I got to move. I got a serviceman downstairs. If the system is teaching our youth and that system is not teaching them the right thing, what do you have? Remember, that's their love language. If you taught them that way, that's what they do. And guess what? We're passionate, real people, bro. So we believe in the stuff that we do. So if you said the sky, if you taught them that the sky is red, they will fight you down to the last blood to say that that sky is red. It could be blue as shit. Okay? And that's the challenge. Understand, I'm dealing with some youth right now. They call them the squeegee boys. I'm calling them the squeegee people. Okay? Wow. All right. And the one thing is that, guess what? Everybody that works with them, they treat them like free labor. They don't treat them like people. So they basically, guess what? They get an opportunity. They can sweep up something. They can clean up something. But it's not like if they were in the county. In the county, guess what they have for troubled youth? They got STEM programs. They got IT programs. And it becomes an encouragement. So when you actually put me in a situation and you say you're going to help me and you're going to help me be better, but the best I can do is sweep up, what did you just say to me? That's all I have. But if you put me in a STEM program and you're teaching me that I can do coding and possibly finish this in 9 months or a year and I can make $100,000 or $80,000, it hits different, bro. And that's what I'm talking about, the accountability of our community. We are letting people handle our community, our elders, and our kids like this, and we keep smiling and yelling and standing on boxes don't get it. We need action items. And guess what? You got people that are doing fundraisers right now that are a joke. That are a joke.
Who?
Okay?
Who?
That are a joke.
Who?
Okay? I had a council person in my meeting last
Who?
week, and he was
Who?
invited by the elders, Donnie.
Who?
Donnie, he was invited by the elders.
Who?
My council person.
Oh, Robert Stokes.
Robert Stokes. He was invited by the elders because they called him forward. They wanted him to give a report on our community, what is he doing, and what's going on.
Well, let me tell you this. If y'all have a replacement for Robert Stokes, you have 5, 6, 7, 8 months.
Okay.
I heard a lot of people complain about Robert. If you don't like him, you got 8 months to replace him.
Well, you know
Other
what?
than that, y'all gonna shut up for another 4 years.
I tell you what, Donnie, you know what I got? I got a check for who's running for Robert Stokes and I like. I got $1,000 check right now for who's running against Robert Stokes that I like that really has my community in mind. Okay? People always say, put your money where your mouth is. My money's out there right now because we can't do this anymore. And guess what? If I can't find nobody, I might write my damn name down. Okay? Because I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, Michael Haney act like he would support you.
Huh?
Michael Haney said he would support you.
Thank you. But you know what? We have to get to real talk in our city. And it's bigger than just black and white. It's about people. Because for people to see what's going on in our community and have no concern, it's a problem. You know, you got what? Look at over there on the peninsula. How much of a tip is that? $500 million? Okay.
All of the council people signed it. All of the council people supported it. All of them.
All of them.
All of them got a check.
But you want to know what? We have to put in front of them those things that need to be handled. You know what? I'm still dealing with zoning. Did you understand that?
I just want to put this out there. Michael Haney, you have reached the limit on comments. Anything else, you got to come on this show and say it yourself.
You know?
Thank you.
I'm still dealing with zoning, Donnie. How is the oldest black restaurant in Baltimore City, a community hub, dealing with a zoning issue of bettering his community? Why haven't I heard from my mayor in, 18 months, a year and a half? And he told me this wouldn't happen. Why is it that when I took it to Bill Henry, he was offended that it happened, and then he came back and said he with the community in a situation? The zoning said they're going with the community. Guess what? I know they did because they cheated. Hey, Donnie, do you know what quorum is?
Quorum is the number of a group of people in order for you to have the majority.
Hey, Donnie, if you're going to vote, if a group
first it's got to be official,
something,
and then it's got to be the larger number.
Now, if they're going to vote on something, if they're going to vote on a business or an action, what do they need to have, Donnie? Got to have quorum, right?
Yeah.
All right. If two people come to your hearing,
thank God,
whether or not you
I'm
and your
so
community
sick of this
can have a
comment.
space.
Hold on,
Huh?
Hey, I'm out doing my walk. Terrence, only thing I want to say, first of all, good morning, Terrence. It's time for you to run, man. I've been listening to you for 15 years. I've seen you in action. It's time for you to run. Robert Stokes seat at minimum is your seat, man. I've seen you 3 times in the news in the past month, man. Run, Terrence. Run or let the system beat us up, man. We need brothers like you, man. You got the youth, vitality, the smarts, the community. You can take that man's seat minimally, Terrence. Hey, Terrence, time to run. Out of here, Terrence, time to run.
Take that man's seat. Now you can take
time to run, Terrence. Time to do it, Terrence. Pray on it, Terrence. Pray on it, Terrence. Pray on it.
You can call
pray on it, man.
But unless you got a plan, don't go for that mayor seat. The city council, that's much more doable.
I just said that, Donnie, but I think Terrence, that's his seat, city council. He can disrupt a lot of pots from that seat. People seeing you out here, Terrence. It's time, man.
You're better off making money. I think you're better off making money.
Hey, listen, I'm saying this publicly, Terrence.
That's the feeling I have. I feel as though that once you get into that pool, a lot of times you lose. All right, you lose that energy that you have in that.
I do think Michael Haney should run.
Hey, Terrence, listen.
Yeah, Mike, how come you ain't never ran?
Terrence, you and I can talk about that, Terrence. Terrence, if you run, I'm saying this publicly, I will be on your campaign committee. I will help you raise money. I'm saying this publicly. Terrence, it's time. I've seen you at Charles Village Benefits District meeting 12 years ago. Light them people on fire. They're afraid of you. You got credibility. You got smarts. You got collateral. Okay? Everything they don't want to see. You got integrity. A black man with dreads with credibility and integrity, man, is a monster. I'm dead serious, Terrence. It's time, man. Just pray on it, man. Pray on it. I'll help you raise money. Matter of fact, if you run, I got the first $6,000 limit. I may have to go dig it up. I got the first one. Just pray on it, man. Get me out of here, Donnie. Take me out. I said what I gotta say. I won't comment anymore. I love Terrence, man.
Thank you.
I am dead serious.
Thank you.
I'm out of here.
All right, now. Thank you, Mike. Donnie.
Everybody want to throw you out there. You let them go out there and run for office. I ain't going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you run your business.
I'm going to run my business, Donnie. The one thing is this, is that I know that I hit better.
Hey, turn your camera, man.
I don't know what the hell happened. Okay. I know.
Run your business. Don't ever stop running your business. There was a man down in PG County. His name was Tommy Broadwater. Once he started doing politics, they tried to come after him. It was his businesses that saved him and preserved him. His businesses. Willie Adams. After they took the lottery and all of that, they tried to crush him. It was his businesses that saved him. Politics without business is nothing. And that's what we got. A bunch of politicians and no damn business. We go down there and sign off Fort Covington to the tune of $1 billion, $500 million, and don't own nothing.
And you want to know what? That's the part that I'm talking about. How do you get such a huge budget to manage? How do you feel as though you can?
Because you got politicians who never run a business.
And they've never, you know what? My problem right here, Donnie, you know what? Guess what a businessman would have done? A business person would have done. My problem with my outside zoning here would have been solved 2 years ago. Okay? November 21st, November of 2021 was my first court hearing about me utilizing my outdoor space.
Hey, look, okay.
All right? Using this space right here. All right? You're looking at over $300,000. All right? Nickel and dime together. You feel me? All right? Little bit of grant, a lot of loan. Okay? Nickel and dime together. And they're saying this is not what Baltimore City needs. Every time somebody came to town.
Because you're not white.
Huh?
Because you are not white.
Yeah, but you want to know what? See, this is bigger than me. It's
you're not white. That's why the white lady came over there and sabotaged your operation. She went over there.
Only two people came. Only 2 people came out of that board of 9. Only 2. And they were able to send a vote. They were able to send a letter to zoning and said that.
What is her name? Put her name out there. What's her name?
Susan. I'll keep messing up her name, man. Susan. But the Baltimore Civic Association. All right. Charles Village Civic Association. All right. I'm putting them out there. Once again. And you know what
put them out there. Just like we had to put the Roland Park Community Association out there when they tried to go and crush Hoes Heights. We're down with racists and we're sick of them. They should be thrown in the damn harbor.
It straight is racism.
Yeah, it is.
You know what? For the mayor's office to not respond.
Well, what did you not do? Was there anything that you did not do?
No, you know what I didn't do, Donnie? I didn't fold. Because when an inspector comes to me and they try to say that, listen, the music is too loud, I ask them a simple question. Do you know the law? How about that? I'm allowed to be at 54 decibels. Okay.
Tess, I remember before this, an inspector came to your operation and said that your refrigerator was like 3 degrees off.
No, 2, Donnie. And you want to know what?
2 degrees. What did we do? Who did we call?
I called the lieutenant governor.
We called the lieutenant governor. Who did he call?
What he did?
He called the mayor. Called Jacqui.
What happened, Donnie?
And it
Guess
got
what
fixed.
happened?
It got fixed right away.
I was open back the next day because it was disrespectful. See,
It took a damn
there are things in
Republican.
reference to.
It took a
If that,
Republican lieutenant governor in a 2-1 Democratic state, 9-1 Democratic city to fix your problem. So
and you know what, Donnie? It didn't take 2 years. I'm still waiting for Brandon to call me.
done
This
overnight.
is horrible.
Done
All
overnight.
right, I tried not to say nothing for a long time because you know what? I was on this transition committee. All right. The
Oh, that's
architects
right.
of
You
the
was
boost
down there.
program.
You was pushing
All right.
the boost program, weren't you?
Huh? I'm the architect
You were
for
pushing
it.
the boost.
I am the architect for the boost program. Please understand. Let's make it clear. All right.
Well, they don't mention
The
you.
boost program of way it should be. All right. Because in the real model that was presented to him, the bottom line was ownership, that it put business in positions to own the bricks. Okay. All right. And it's a couple of systems to use. But guess what? They chose not to use those systems because that doesn't really benefit our community. It's great for those businesses. God knows. But for them, like I shared with them at that point, it's about owning the bricks. It's about them positioning themselves where they do that. Okay. And putting them in a community that is not ours to say that, listen, that's diversity and you're working on making the city better. That's full of shit. Why not put them in our community? Why not put them in a position where they can own those buildings that are not bringing any revenue in?
Because we got black politicians who don't believe in black power, who don't believe in black economics. They believe in their own personal careers, and they always on TV. And the only thing worse than black people taking pictures of toilets is black people faking the funk like they love black people and they're politicians. They make me sick to my stomach.
They're not building our city. They're building their resumes, and that's the sad truth.
Yeah, get on out of here.
You have beautiful black people, smart people with access, and they choose not to hold their posts. They choose not to hold their posts. Okay? I'm tired of pictures of people downtown doing shit. All right? I'm tired of that. I don't want to see no more Lexington Market. What about Pennsylvania Avenue? Okay? What about Hartford Road? What
They're
about
waiting for the black people to die off so they can do it like Park Heights.
You know?
They're waiting for all of the black people to die, shoot each other, OD on the fentanyl, and then they're going to put a bike lane.
Yep. And that's the dumbest thing that I've seen in this city so far. That is the dumbest thing. You got people that are killing each other out here. You got people that are strung out here. All right, you got people that are homeless out here.
And some asshole puts a red stripe up North Avenue.
A bike lane makes more sense to that community. I got a question, Donnie, because guess what? What if we took that money and created a first-time home buyers program and everybody did the program, we gave them 20 grand? Huh? What would that do to change the narrative? Huh? Guess what happened, Donnie? Now that kid wakes up and he goes to school. You know, it's a little easier to filter the other garbage that's in there because he does have the ability of ownership. He understands what it takes. All right. But also on the other side, guess what? Now the city's getting taxes for that house. Okay. All right. They're helping public safety. Like right here on 25th and St. Paul. This is one of the big campaigns that we're going to push. Is that at 7 o'clock over here, it is like the desert. Why? Why is it like the desert? But if I go a few blocks, if I go to Charles Street, here go the crazy part, Donnie. If I go to Charles Street and 24th, all the way down, all right, to North Avenue, and all the way over, all right, to Howard Street, guess what? It's a different ecosystem, but it doesn't include us. All right. The majority of those businesses over there were imported, all right, from other parts of the country. They were given opportunity by Kelly Cross, and those guys just keep forgetting this quarter. They don't do. If you walk down those streets, you can look at the simplest thing: the tree wells.
Kelly Cross can play a role.
All right. He chooses not to, bro. He chooses not to. He keeps using his card like he is really for our community. He is not for our community.
I don't see it fully that way.
All right. Listen, I'm the business here. You're on radio. I'm business here. This way
I run a business also. Right? My business is covering the businesses.
So you can't comment on what happens in this community more than I can.
I've covered your community more than any journalist in this city.
But I didn't say journalist. I said I'm living it.
I've run a business myself.
Here. All right.
Okay.
I could take you for a walk, baby. Please, I could take you for a walk, and I can
Please
let
take
you
me
see
for a
yourself.
walk.
Huh? I could take you for a walk.
Please take me for a walk. I think we should wrap this up right now. This has been a very healthy discussion.
Yes,
My name's
sir.
Donnie Glover. We with
Yes, sir.
Terrence Dixon of Terra Cafe.
Yes, sir.
We can agree
Hey, Donnie,
to
let me just say
disagree.
something.
At the end of the day, it's about that money, though. Whatever you want to say.
It is.
And just like we got to work with black people, we're in America, we got to work with all people.
No, that's what I'm talking about, Donnie. I want to work with everybody to get this right. Because guess what? When the black community
But we
gets
have
right,
no excuse
and
as
it's
black
safe for
people.
streets. When the black community gets right, and it's safe
I've
for
tried
streets
to bring
out
you
here
and
for our
Kelly
youth
together on multiple occasions.
You keep cutting me off. When we
I've
get it
tried to
right,
bring you and Kelly together on multiple occasions.
I'm here, but it don't happen, bro. It don't. I see Kelly. He gives me the shake and he gives me the high, and he says he's going to give me the support letters that I never get. Okay, all right. You know, they get a lot of money for in reference to developing and making this curb appeal here. They make it attractive for people to stop at our businesses, but it stops at our businesses. That's where the curb appeal stops. Some of these other places got beautiful tree beds, lines, and everything else, and ours all overgrown, broken down curb furniture.
You know, Sheila Dixon's office is right around the corner from you.
She then Kelly Cross. She's right next door to Kelly Cross. Of course, that's going to be pristine. Okay, and guess what? I don't have to keep calling everybody. Everybody say, "Well, have you called this person? Have you called this person?" Listen, if they're on their post.
So we also have to be able to work together.
Finish, Johnny. If you're on your post and you're going through these communities and you can't decipher what is right and what is wrong, then maybe they just not the person's for us. All right. We have to hold everybody that's in a political office has to be held accountable, that they got to know what's going on.
And you have to be held accountable too, because if resources have been brought to you and you fail to take advantage of them, then we got to look at you.
Donnie, why are you always coming at me, man? Ain't nobody brought me no bread I ain't take. Okay? If anything, I
remember you were pushing the boost program. I was like, why is Terrence pushing the boost program?
Who was the conduit during COVID that really was the conduit for black business in Baltimore? Because everybody else didn't know what in the hell to do.
You were talking to the White House. We both were.
On 25th Street.
We were talking to the White House.
Huh?
We were talking to the White House.
They came here. They came to bring us $5 billion to be distributed. And like we said before, starting a bank earlier, the conversation at that time was that how do we speed forward Terrell Consulting in reference to.
This has been a very good discussion. Get involved. It's all about economics. It's up to all of us to be involved and to make it happen. Great show. Good morning, world.